It does. I told Kara, I was like, let's just plan C and we really don't miss, and then it'll happen, and then we'll miss it.
What's up, brother man? How are you doing? That was fine. That was
Who's this? Down the line, Cat Mission Impossible Movie. It's good. And the seats were great too. Recline. It's because I can't, I'm not in for height. Yeah, right. Got one. There you go.
Did you solve it? So she's gonna take care of the oxygen.
Solve the problem. There's no way that could have happened. That's what you said.
Good morning. What's up, guys?
I want you to decide that.
Good morning. I know. Julie, how are you? How are you?
storage is free, it's no cost. It's all online, there's not in person. Okay.
I mean, please let me know if I can answer any questions for you.
Just connect them with me, if you'll just send me an email and give me your name, and I'll decide. Letter example. I have 11 on one side.
I want my name all over it.
2 to 4? You want to do 2 to 4?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna be doing Wait, what time do you meet? Or no, 1 to 3, 1 to 3.
That's you, Sean. That's you. Come on, everybody, let's get started. Welcome. Somebody give me some good news. Something that's going on that's good. Who's excited that school is out? All right, what are you excited about? Traveling. I like that answer. Great answer. What else are you excited about? School being out, that is.
Travel sports.
What?
Travel sports.
Travel sports, okay, I like that. What else are you excited about?
The second weekend of May.
Oh, tell us about your play.
I don't know if I can say the name of it because it has a cuss word in it, but
We had a cuss
but
word, I
it's
can't go.
basically like if you imagine Mean Girls set in college and they're all theater majors. Yeah, so, but it's really fun.
I'm going next Saturday.
It's not house players in Cartersville.
Cool, that's great. That's Robert got waiting to meet us just saying hello.
Just tell me something good or tell us something good. Yeah, I really appreciate Keller Williams and Land and Boards and Silverton Mortgage and Lilia for the invite to the movie on Saturday. We had a great time. It was great.
I'm glad you had fun. I understand from Reed, they have about 300 people there, is that right?
Nice.
Before about getting 100, you worked in. Yes, sir. So thank y'all for this, absolutely great. All right, guys, anybody want to share something good?
Yeah, they
All right, Sean.
I'm excited this room is this full. This is awesome.
Like that every
Oh,
week.
yeah, really?
And the answer is no. Okay, all right, and come in, did you have something?
say that we need some more coffee. You want some more coffee? You have some more coffee.
Okay, you got drawn, Jim.
All right, first drawing of the day. This is for a set of 4 Braves tickets donated by Supreme Mortgage. Thank you very much, Supreme.
Jim Alexander!
Brenda Raw. No. I knew that speak earlier.
Jennifer Sue.
See Kimberly in the back.
Jennifer. There's great seats right here.
Yeah,
Come on.
we've got another seat right here, guys.
We've got this
The
thing.
seat over there.
If you like. That'd be great. All right, so the spectacular Braves getaway, that's great. Please don't forget to tag us on Instagram and on Facebook because it gives you more exposure to us also, so please remember to do that. And it will make us all do more processes. Thank you so much. Top individual fundraiser, you guys, so who knows more about tonight?
I did.
All right, tell us
All
about
right,
it.
so I want to thank everybody for the month of May. Everybody gave to Katie Cares, Mo's birthday, the Red Day, all of that celebration. So not only did we able to serve at Family Promises, we also raised enough money to get them a new play set. So we will. We also got a sign donated by Kenneth Farmers, thanks to Christy Hyatt's efforts. Farmer signs. So a new sign in the yard, because theirs was so ugly. And then we also have enough leftover money for games at the retirement community. So they're gonna have a new bingo set and some other great things. And not only did we able to accomplish all of that, but in the whole country, thanks to y'all's efforts, we are ranked number 3 in total giving for the month, Kudos to you guys, y'all did a fabulous job with that, thank you so much.
And I think we're number 1 in the Southeast region.
Nobody else in the regions are doing the board, so,
Yeah.
good job, guys.
Can we give another hand for the that'll change a lot of things, so thank you very much. All right, Alliance Partners, Thomas and Brown, come on up here.
Happy I get to come up here today. You know, I don't get to do it as much, and it's always good to see everybody. It's awesome. There's so many people here today.
For the summer, I like
Happy to see it. One of my 6 bosses in the firm, Cheryl King, told me this morning, to make sure that I announced, and I'm sure it may even be up here, but there's a mastering mid-year guard changes thing here on June 12th from 1 to 4. And she ran in this morning downstairs to use the copier because there's one over in West Cobb today. So she'll be back. I've heard great things about it. Y'all, she does a wonderful job teaching, as y'all know, and she's a great resource for our firm. I had a closing yesterday that I was looking at before I walked in, and I can usually tell very quickly, you know, who the originating agent was for this closing or how we got it. I had no idea how we got it. I didn't recognize either person's name. It was a substantial closing, and I went in there and nobody said anything to let me know, hey, this is why we came here. So I just went on with my spiel, and about halfway through, this girl asked me if Cheryl ever closes any transactions. And I said, yes, she does, but she does about 80% teaching stuff, usually in Alpharetta. She goes, well, I heard her down in these people were from Locust Grove. And she goes, I were down in Locust Grove, and I heard her speak, and I told her if I ever had any business on the north side, I was sending it to you guys. And it was a great closing, and you know, it's always good to hear that stuff. But Cheryl's a great resource if y'all, you need, I know Jim uses her, I use her, of course. I call her about stuff that I think I'm 100% right about, just to get confirmation. But that's all we had to announce. It's great to see everybody, and reach out if you need anything from us. You know, we're always here for you. Thank you.
Come on, guys. We do love Cheryl King, she's amazing, okay. Thank you to our work sponsor for Store Square, come on up. Let's give them a hand, guys.
Thank you very much for having me. Jacob Thompson with Store Square, and Panera's in the back if you haven't already grabbed your
Let's
sandwich.
look everything for Panera, guys.
So Store Square is a portable storage container provider. So we do moving and storage using our big, beautiful metal boxes that we're very, very proud of. And we're able to deliver them to your client's home, relocate them across town, across the southeast, or just pick it up full and store it at our facility for a period of time. And the one thing I wanted to mention, one of my competitors is getting in a little bit of trouble. So who here has seen the rent me for $19.95 sign on the side of a U-Haul? Yeah. Who here has ever paid $19.95 to rent a U-Haul? It's not possible, so they're finally getting in trouble for false advertising. And it's been hard because sometimes people, you know, oh, I can go get a U-Haul for $20. I'm like, no, you cannot. But not only is price one of the components, but also just the ease of use. Using a portable storage container to move is far less stressful. So we're not renting by the hour or by the day, we rent by the month. So there's no, man, I gotta get this back by 4 p.m. or else they're gonna hit me with another surcharge or something. It is, we try to take the crunch time out of the equation and provide that peace of mind to your customer. So again, I appreciate you having me here. My goal every time I come is to build that relationship with you guys, become a referral partner, because I want to know people who are moving, and I'm assuming you guys know people who are moving. Is it anybody's birthday today? How about this week? Anybody have a birthday? There's one, all right. So I got a little giveaway here, a little coffee mug. And then I have business cards and flyers in the back. The number on the bottom, if you add that to your phone and just save it as Jacob at Store Square or Portable Storage Guy or whatever, however you remember me to call me next time you need moving and storage for your clients, that's what I'm here for. So, and then my thing I'm excited about, we have a C-section scheduled for July 18th. I've been growing my mustache and my wife has been growing our child, so it's been a rough couple of months for us.
I don't think y'all equally yoked on that one.
I don't believe so, no sir. So are there any questions about Store Square or portable storage or my mustache or anything? What's that? Boy or girl? We are waiting.
Oh.
So, I don't know, I'm quite nervous about that one. Praying for healthy. Yes, ma'am.
I just would like to say thank you. I had a closing 2 weeks ago and it was sale and purchase this Friday. My clients were so stressed with this gap and I referred them to you guys. And they said it was never as relaxing as it could be.
Wonderful.
With work you done and how it's organized everything.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Are y'all anything else, any other questions?
Price is on the website. If you have questions on price.
$19.99.
It's on there. It is not.
When I sell Store Square, I always say you only have to move once. So you go into the box and then it comes back and it's delivered at the next house instead of moving into storage and trying to figure out where everything goes and having to repack it and all that. They do a wonderful job.
Yes, ma'am.
So you do storage and moving, right?
Yes, yep, absolutely. Yeah, so just depending on if it can go right to the new house, we'll take it right to the new house. If it needs to stay off-site for a week, a month, 6 months, 6 years, we'll do it that way too.
Let's give my hand, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Justin,
All right.
you're on.
Justin, come on up here. I'm gonna welcome a good friend of mine. Some of you have seen him. We're gonna see how he does without a teleprompter today. We're gonna do a little Q&A session. So, Justin's a good friend of mine. Our sons play baseball together. In his, would you call it your second career now?
Yeah.
Has moved into wealth management, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself, and then we'll do some quick Q&A. Just get to know him a little bit. You're on.
Thanks, Sean. Does he always come to work?
No.
Like,
Absolutely.
I knew he was a little off, but this is really something. Thanks, Sean, for having me. It's a real treat to be here today, and I'll tell you why. There are 2 reasons why I'll always have a soft spot for realtors and people in this game. Is firstly, you're grinders. I mean, what the mindset of a real estate agent and a realtor is, I'm owed nothing, I'll go get mine. And the reason I know that intimately well is my childhood was spent largely in the backseat of a Cutlass Supreme while my mother was selling houses all across North Georgia in the 70s and 80s. So I know the life, and I'm really impressed with y'all, so thanks for having me, Sean. Yeah, so a lot of y'all may remember me. I retired from Channel 2 in November, and after just a fantastic career that I'm grateful for, I did something that my wife and many other people told me, I think you're having a nervous breakdown, and we need to do an intervention because no one leaves a job like you had, because I genuinely left it on my own terms. But what I did was I turned a passion into a profession, and I had checked that box in my life, and as a newsman, and I reached the epitome of what my goals were in my 20s, which is I wanted to come back home to Atlanta. It's very hard to get back into a market of this size, and I wanted to be the main anchor man at the best TV station, not just in Atlanta, but the local station in the country. And I did that, and I did it for a long, long time. And I won't bore you with 1,000 reasons other than to say this. When I figured out it was time to make that change, I knew exactly what it was going to be. So I went back and got the education required, passed all the tests that are required, and yada, yada, yada. So now, I've started a wealth management firm, and that's what I do when I'm not at baseball. So, that's what I do now. And I really love the business. A lot of it is, yes, the ins and outs of effective investing, but more of it is a lot of what y'all do, which is really relationships, right? You are creating a system and a feeling of credibility and trust with your clients.
And when you all do that really well, those clients stay with you transaction after transaction after transaction as their net worth grows, and then they're buying that second house, or they're upgraded onto their third house, and then their adult children call you, and all of that similar ecosystem is the way we operate as well. And the customer's always right, and no matter how late you're up, no matter what it takes, how exhausted you are, there are days you just gotta answer that bell. And I actually enjoy the grind. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna enjoy it at this pace, but while we're at the inception of our firm, I really, really enjoy it, and it is living up to what I was hoping it would become. It is.
So Justin, I have a question for you. Everybody sees things in the news and consumer debt is way up. People are strapped for cash. Things are trending in the direction people are gonna have to start unlocking equity in their homes to be able to afford their lifestyles. How can realtors partner with their clients' wealth advisors? Because we're not wealth advisors, we're not professionals in that way. We want to be a resource for them. How can we partner with someone like you to better help our clients understand in an upsize or a downsize move, how they can better unlock that equity and how they can achieve their goals and get rid of some of that consumer debt?
For sure. So I would say that, as you all know well, people love the easy button, and they love feeling like you're gonna take care of them. And the best way to do that really is, if it's somewhat complicated, I would respectfully ask y'all, never be sure, find out. Especially when it's people's money and those kinds of things. And that's where, yes, and I'm not pitching our business today, but whether it's someone like our firm or anybody else who you think is truly qualified, then get specific answers to questions. What I would say, Sean, specifically to answer that question is this. There's a really cool tool called Pledged Asset Lines. What that is, in our side of the fence, we call them PALs, P-A-Ls, Pledged Asset Lines. And so if you're dealing with someone who's got a decent amount of investable cash, so let's say $1 million, and they're trying to figure out how to make this purchase work, or you have some news that you think is bad news, because all of a sudden they gotta bring another $45,000 to a closing table or whatever. Don't let that kill your deal. And here's how. This is probably one of the most valuable tools I'm gonna share with you all today in our limited time. This Pledged Asset Line, you call someone like me, you say, Justin, I understand that you are either managing Mr. Johnson's wealth, or you can help him understand this Pledged Asset Line. If someone has $1 million invested in the stock market, in bonds, whatever, Google and whatever ETFs and mutual funds that they have, I don't mean their 401k, I mean their investable, liquid today assets. You can borrow against those assets, that Pledged Asset Line, and for our members, we've loaned 70 cents on the dollar. So they can borrow up to $700,000 on $1 million. If that $1 million is the collateral, so be your own bank. And you only pay on the portion you borrow, and you can pay it off immediately with no penalty right after closing or whatever's going on in your life. But it keeps you from having to push out that closing date. We can close those within days.
That's outstanding. How can a realtor initiate conversations with clients about the importance of liquidity and an emergency fund when dealing with home sales?
If you're on the sell side or buy side, or
Either one.
Yeah, I mean,
really more so for buyers as they're approaching a sale.
I'm really glad you asked this question. People get their heads, and this is for y'all's own personal work, people have to get their heads really wrapped around the axle when it comes to liquidity. Y'all, unless you've got your, by the way, don't ever buy an annuity. Oh my God, that's a side conversation. Y'all can email me. I will show you the nightmares, and I'm sorry, I know some of you have them. I know why you have them, because they get pushed on you. And again, that's my soapbox, and I'll park that here. Back to the question. So, don't get obsessed with liquidity, because most things, other than like very specific vehicles like annuities, are actually quite liquid. So what you don't want to do is have your money sitting in your Truist or Wells Fargo account getting no interest. I mean, they're just awful what they pay, and they love it. They then take your money, they get the spread, and that's why their bank buildings and their offices are so beautiful and how they put their name on stadiums. Don't do that. Take your cash and put it at a minimum in money market accounts, or there are some better ideas that a professional can help you with on how to park that money. And you guys, you can get that money 48 hours at most, probably 30 hours, but really 48 hours at the most. So don't feel like, about to buy a house, I gotta have 100K sitting on the side just for whatever. I would argue it's not like that.
Gotcha.
Everyone in this room is realtor or realtor adjacent. What are some things that you would advise realtors whose cash flow can at times look like this
Oh, yeah.
do to make sure that they're protected when there is a downturn, when we do go into a slow time for real estate?
Okay, how much do we all love mailbox money? Oh, man, mailbox money is your friend. So I would say this, Sean, there are wonderful investments, more and more available to the general investing public than there have ever been before. The umbrella term you'll hear kicked around is alternative investments. Don't let that phrase kind of spook you. It doesn't mean some cryptocurrency out of, Eastern Russia. It doesn't mean that. Alternative investments include anything that's basically not correlated to the stock market. In our firm, at least 30% of every single person's portfolio is involved in an alternative investment. Mailbox money, what kinds of vehicles? Guess what? Workforce housing, assisted living centers, investing in people who want to sell their life insurances that they no longer need because they're either wealthier than the $1 million that they thought they might need when they were 30 and now they're 75 and they don't need it, or they need some cash flow and they want to liquidate a life insurance policy. That delta between, let's say it's $1 million policy, they can sell it for $300K, there's the delta, you can invest in that, it returns double-digit interest every year historically. So there are lots of investments out there and the kinds of tools that you all probably deal with on a daily basis that will return between 9 and 14% every single year. And it doesn't matter what happens politically in the country or to a trade argument or the whims of the stock market or, an accounting fraud at, God forbid, Apple or something. You want to have some of your investments, y'all, in vehicles that are not correlated to the stock.
Awesome. And I'm gonna put you on the spot because this wasn't something we necessarily talked about. Give us your, and then we'll go into a few questions. Give us your outlook, your crystal ball of the market as it stands right now.
Thanks, Sean. So, no, I don't.
You're welcome.
I can see the future just as well as all of you. But what we can do is look at there's some data. And to me, my favorite data point, long before I was doing this professionally, was I was at Channel 2. My lane was really economic development reporting and political reporting. Politics come and go, leaders come and go. So I would pay less attention, if it's fun and it's interesting, right, whatever. But in terms of your money, pay attention to the labor market. To me, that is one of the absolute crucial pillars of our economic foundation. So right now, unemployment is quite low. Also right now, we're done with that quiet quitting post-COVID. People felt like they had all the leverage against the boss. Those days are gone. Those are actually good things because people are like, you know what, I kind of got to work again. For people like y'all who are already grinders, that's a good thing. So I would say, Sean, that in our view, that by and large, this is actually a time to be interested in investments. I wouldn't be hoarding your cash in a mattress, no way. I do not see a recession coming. I'm a strong believer in American exceptionalism. We are still the innovators of the world, right? We offshored a lot of manufacturing starting in about 1974, and that is being turned around to some extent. I don't mean to go overly long-winded on that, but I really think that y'all are all here standing and you've already endured that precipitous rise in interest rates and mortgage rates. I know that hadn't been a lot of fun, and I know the inventory is still challenged, but I'm optimistic on the US economy big time. You've got really smart people minding the store right now, and again, the labor market is in good shape. If you start to see unemployment tick up by a full point, that's when you wanna, okay, let's be careful here. Also, inflation has abated. That runaway inflation, y'all, that has stymied. There are still some items that are crazy. Gosh, I bought some Lucky Charms the other day for my 12-year-old, and it was $9. No, granted, it was the family size, because sometimes I'd get them. But I was like, $9 for cereal? That's insane. So yeah, we've all gotten conditioned to it. But that's my answer. Yes, sir.
All right.
No, go ahead. Q&A.
All right. Well, you're just talking about inflation has actually abated and such. Well, the flip side of that, since you kind of have the obvious financial background, I think Japan had like a decade, it was a lost decade of stagflation.
Right.
Do we have something like that that might be in the future for us to where the economy kind of keeps churning, but as the rest of our mechanics catch up, that we kind of have that stagflation that people have been worried about for a little? You think that's a real thing? You think we're gonna dodge it? What do you think?
I think because the US, I mean, it's just my 2 cents, man, I could be wrong, I'm wrong a lot if you ask Mrs. Farmer. But, I think because the United States has proven to be the best in the world at currency manipulation, we don't like the word manipulation because we're at least the most ethical at it and the bar is low. But I would say that because our monetary policy in this country is actually very impressive, regardless of who controls the White House or the Senate, our monetary policy controls are genius in this country, and it's a lot of the reason why we've had such continued prosperity. They figured that out with the mistakes of the 70s and 80s. So I would say I'm not that concerned about stagflation.
Any other questions? Somebody's gotta have a question. Somebody wants to ask something about being on the news.
Yeah, man.
And ask it, let's go, somebody ask it.
What about the national debt? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so that's a really, I was asked that question last week, so there's no fast answer other than to say, people, in my view, mistakenly view a nation like ours the same. They equate it to a household budget or a business budget, and that's tempting to do, I get it. But it's way more dynamic and different because you don't have the ability to create different monetary policy in your own home budget. The United States does. You don't have 3,500 streams of income. The United States does. So while common sense says a runaway deficit with no end in sight can't possibly be good, I totally agree with you. But the notion of we're gonna ruin this country if we don't get debt under control yesterday is probably overstating it as well. So smarter monetary policy, smarter spending in Washington seems obvious. But how is that gonna happen? Here's my concern. How is that possibly going to happen when the only way to get elected, you're never gonna get elected saying, here's the hard truth. We're gonna have to cut some entitlement programs and we're gonna have to raise some taxes on some people. You're not gonna get elected. And so that's kind of the fatal flaw. So how do you outrun it? You better be really, really prosperous for a long, long time. Yeah.
How do you feel about just short-term treasuries for, temporary cash in terms of,
I don't love them because you're barely keeping up with inflation. So you're not making any money. And there are ways you can make money even when times are really, really bad. The most wealth generated in American history, and for the most part global history, is generated in the most tumultuous times. Human beings, we're the worst investors because we have feelings, right? So the way that our models work, just for example, is we build custom models, and they're all data driven. Now, they're only as good as the data inputs. But for example, if you were to look at some salient statistics, my favorite one is cash flow of any given company, from Home Depot to NVIDIA and everything in between. If you look at cash flow as it relates, the company's cash flow and profitability, as it relates to the price of the stock, the enterprise value of that company, and you run a chart on that, okay, there is a data point that shows at an inflection point, buy it, or an inflection point, you sell it. If you were to just be a disciple of that one data point, we use 10, that one data point, you will beat the S&P every year. There's no emotion in that. What human beings do is we buy a stock, we rode NVIDIA from $30 to $120, and it was our favorite friend, and it made me buy a boat, and blah, 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 blah. Now you can't break up with it, right? But maybe you should have taken some profits along the way. Same thing when stocks start falling, right? I've already lost $150 on this stock. Surely I'll get that back, but you may not. If the company's going through 5 years of problems, You wanna sit on it for 5 years? Human beings make mistakes that data points don't, if you have the discipline to stick to it.
Sounds like something we could talk to clients about. The data doesn't lie, right? The numbers don't lie.
Oh, I have to tell y'all, there's something I do for them every day, Sean.
What's that?
All of you in this room, you know what? Because our members call us, we call them members, our clients will call us. And they'll say, you know, Justin, I'm looking at this thing, and they're looking at this house, and we really want it. But I told my wife, this is crazy, our current mortgage is 3.5%, and this thing is 6.85 or whatever. And I say, Mr. Alton, date the rate, marry the house. Did I do it right?
Yes. That was not coached, I swear.
So I got y'all.
Oh, we got one more question over in the corner. Oh, we'll go there first.
Since you're not on the news anymore, where do I go to get unbiased?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where do you go?
That question's coming up.
Where do you go? I pour myself bourbon, and I find that the truth lives right there. No, I would say, here's the thing. You know, human beings are flawed, and yeah, dude, we don't have time for it today. But it is, the state of the media is a real bummer because people have, people are choosing to do it now, have gotten into their heads that somehow that's their calling to fix everything. No, it's not. Go work on somebody's campaign, is what I used to tell our young producers and writers who would come into our newsroom, and I was like, whoa there, Sparky. If you're a political zealot, this is not for you. I'm impressed. I hate apathy. So whether you're left or right, if you believe in something, amen. Go work for that person, go work for that cause. Don't do it in a news building. So I'm with y'all on that. I couldn't fix it alone, you know? So where I get my information is from lots of places, and then apply a good dose of common sense. Okay? Most people running their mouths are full of crap. So I'm sorry, that's where we are, Sean. Right here in the middle.
So, hi, how are you? I read an article the other day about how to make $1 million in 5 years or in 10 years. And it was talking about...
Make a lot, save a lot. Go ahead.
So it was kind of leaning towards what you were sort of mentioning earlier about alternative investments,
Yeah.
like put your money, like if you have 50,000 or 100,000, put it in a this account that would make 10%
That's right.
approximately a year, and then every month feed that account like I think it's
That's exactly right, yeah.
3,000 or 10,000. So where so I read the articles like with news, but where you start with that, where do you invest? Like,
Okay, my favorite alternative investment I've ever seen is called Roots. It's actually Atlanta-based. It's called investwithroots.com. Investwithroots.com. And you can reach me and I'll tell you about it. I'll send you all the stuff and we can put you in it. You know, it's fantastic. I have a lot of my own money in it, and they always return, historically, you know, past results are not a guarantee of future, but they always return 9 to 13%. Okay? And I love it. And what the closest thing to magic in the world is compound interest. God, it's true, y'all. Just get started. Take 10 grand. Just do it. Put it away. You will not miss it. And then if you only have $100 spare at the end of the month, that's fine. If you have 1,000 spare at the end of the month, and feed that beast and just don't spend it. And you will wake up shocked one day how that has worked out for you if you've got it in the right tool. Investwithroots.com. And Sean, you want to tell them where they can find me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just email me, justin@exitwealth.com. justin@exitwealth.com.
We'll send an email
And I
and
can
all
help
this
y'all.
contact information. Jim, did you have a question?
So is it basically true, Justin, that 60% of most Americans don't have 6 months worth of savings?
I think that's accurate, yes. But it's also true that we are now above 50% of Americans are investing. So that's really, really good too. So it's the the wealth gap in the United States is widening. And so that's where those statistics come from. And so, yeah, people saving, you know, we all know that most of our population doesn't save enough, and that's life discipline though. That's lack of self-discipline, or they've had enough headwinds in their lives And that's very unfortunate, where they just can't quite get over the hump, and both those things are true.
So, I was listening to a wealth building guy the other day, and he said, buy your first piece of real estate as investment property, and then work towards having 6 months worth of savings. I said that should be reversed. Your thoughts?
I would say that once upon a time, own a hard asset like real estate yourself was a no-brainer. And look, if you're doing really well, then you, sure, do that. I would just say this, if you don't have enough liquid yet, or the time and the energy that it takes to own a piece of real estate that's designed to be an income generator, I mean like a rental property or something, you can get those same returns with zero headache. That's the whole point of alternative investment. That's really the magic of it. So one of the questions Sean had sent me previously about today was my opinion on buying, right, an investment.
Yeah, investment properties.
Right? And so I would just say to the group this, don't ever underestimate, and you could share this with your folks, I mean, I know you want the transaction, but don't ever underestimate the work, potential stress that goes into owning a piece of property when you expect it to generate revenue. Right? And so ask yourself this question, is there another way I could generate this amount of revenue or close to it with zero stress? Yep, the answer is yes, you can. So you can spend more time at your kids' baseball practice or water skiing or, Sicily or whatever is on your list.
Well, Justin, we really appreciate you coming today. If no one has any other questions, we'll clap him off the stage.
Thank you.
All right, you're on, Sherry.
All right, y'all's favorite topic, right? Affiliated marketing disclosures. Well, there has been another update. Feels like I was just here a month ago talking about the update.
Third page?
No, there's no third page, but what we've done is we have revised the second page. So we still have the first page, which has the East Cobb Title, Thomas and Brown and Noble. These are our JV partnerships, okay? So that's on the first page. That has not changed. This is what we talked about probably a month ago. What we have updated is our marketing disclosure. JV relationship, marketing disclosures. And we still have Thomas and Brown, East Cobb Title, Supreme, and Silverton, but the numbers have gone away because we've heard a lot of feedback from you guys that it was confusing, explaining it to your clients. We did a little research, we consulted with a compliance attorney, he said it was not necessary to put the fees on here. So we have removed those fees. JV relationship, joint venture relationship, marketing disclosure, all right? They both have to be signed by your clients, whether your clients are using anybody on these two pages, it doesn't matter. Have to have your client sign it. We will have it just like we previously had it. It will be a one-page PDF, it will be a two-page PDF, one upload, one email sent, but it's gonna be 2 pages and signatures on both pages. And hopefully this will stay put for a while. So any questions on this? Kristen?
Why do other KW offices ask our clients to sign their affiliate business?
Yes.
I'm like, I shouldn't have to.
Doesn't make any sense.
And one of them's a
So,
KW office.
We don't have
So,
in the wrong.
if I had my way, you would be having other clients sign it also.
Don't have your way.
So, when affiliated business disclosures came out, however many years ago, we were requiring that from you guys, and I got because we were so far ahead of the game, that other brokerages weren't understanding, other agents weren't understanding, so I got a lot of pushback from you guys that, why? And then I started to see a trend where other brokers weren't requiring both sides, so I just kind of took my foot off the gas on that. I think it's best business practice if you do, but we are not, part of your compliance is not required. So, I can't be more honest than that with it.
Well, I guess what's the why?
It is, I think I personally,
So
it's a
both sides
RESPA,
know what the fees
it's a RESPA acknowledgement of who people are doing business with. So, y'all make your decisions for your own business, personal business, but I think best business practice it is, but like I said, compliance is not gonna push it. So, you do what's best for you.
Should we put it in the contract as an exhibit?
I see a lot of the times it's in the exhibit. I don't think it's necessary, but I do see it.
What's best practice?
Just for you to make that decision, sweetheart. I mean,
You're the one
I
that
would
does
not
this.
be putting it in the contract if I was doing real estate. I would not be adding it as another thing for my clients to have to look at.
It's not pertinent to the contract.
Right, exactly. Unless something, one of these people are being used, then it kind of is. Yeah, so it's up to you. Yes, ma'am.
If we signed by a brokerage, let's say a couple months ago and used the old form, do we need to update it now?
No.
When we get on the
If you've got one already signed, I'm not gonna tell you to update it. Now, if you've got, which I saw this last night when I was reviewing your contracts, I saw a couple of first pagers signed, but not second pagers. I am gonna want you to get the most current second page signed, if it got missed in the process. So, yeah.
So, just to clarify, was I didn't hear the question, was it for multiple properties?
If she's already got it signed, they need to go back and sign the most current version.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
not
obviously
necessary.
it's property specific now, whereas if you have a seller and a buyer, they have to sign it twice.
Guys, attach it to your
Like, on the
brokerage
same-
agreement, and that's when it needs to be getting signed, when you're getting your brokerage agreement signed. To me, that's the best way to handle it. Yes.
So for a buyer,
Karen.
So I was unaware of this second one.
Uh-huh.
Where do we find it? So
It's
is it-
attached, it's one PDF, and you can get it, you can download it on our quorum resource page.
Is it gonna be put into .leads?
It's already in us.
It's already in there, and it's a one page, you just gotta make sure to look at the second page.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's where it's getting missed. Yes.
for buyers, do we put TBD for property?
It's fine, yeah.
How long is it valid for duration? So for example, if you have a buyer brokerage for 6
Forever.
months.
These do not expire. These do not expire.
They don't expire.
No, they do not expire. All right, guys, up here, eyes up here, any other questions? Yes.
If we missed our client signature at the time that we got the consolidation about the dates, is that okay if clients sign and put it the date after we got our
Just,
consolidation?
they can just date it whenever they sign it.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. All right, guys, thank you. I promise, hopefully no more changes for a while. Oh, me again, okay, so, you guys, so our ALC met about 2 months ago, and they asked for a way to, if there was a way that we could provide free legal descriptions for you guys via this website. And we had researched it a couple of years ago, and it was really expensive because they wanted to charge us like $11 per agent. And every agent, whether you used it or not. And that just did not make sense for the office to incur that expense. So Melissa has been on the phone with them. We do have an office account now.
Yes.
But it's gonna be, give us some time to figure it out because you'll call somebody on the staff, we'll give you the username and password, and if you can let us know which property you're pulling. What you can do through our office account is you now can get a monthly subscription for like $11 a month per agent. If you do a lot of legal description pulls, I think it's well worth it. If I were you, I would team up with 3 other agents and y'all share the same, and if you're recording this, I won't deny it. I would team up, I would have 4 agents team up, share the $12 a month subscription, y'all share the same passwords in that way.
It's 14 now.
It's 14 now? Well, no, but through the office, it's 12. With our office account, it's at like $11.99. But through our office, I would set up an account, 4 people get together, share that $12 a month fee, which is what makes it, $3 a month, and y'all all have the same username and password. To me, that would be the best way to handle this, and at the best rate to handle this.
When you print, though, they charge extra.
I don't think so through the office account.
Okay.
Let me follow up with that, but through the office account, I don't think that's the case. Yes. And on top of that, if you were in the team meeting last week, which is what it was news to me, that we have, Thomas & Brown provides free legal descriptions.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're using Thomas & Brown as your preferred partnership, it is legal@proclosers.com, and they will provide you with free legal descriptions.
yes.
So there's two now sources for you to have to get legal descriptions. There's the barcode for it right
Send an
there.
email to Noelle Ahuna, she will provide it.
Yes.
And
Do it legal at
Not
ProPoser.
terrible.
No, but use the legal at ProPoser.com email. Yes, don't
That way I
don't email her directly, yes. Questions? Kyle?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, friendly reminder that this is, legal descriptions is the only surefire way to verify if a property is a condo or not.
Yes.
So if you have confusions, if you're looking at communities, if you're looking at townhomes, the legal description will 100% say the word condominium in it. If it's a condo, if it's not a condo, condominium will not show up in the legal description.
Very true. Thank you for that.
Good to know.
All right, guys, so we've given you two avenues, two resources now for legal descriptions, all right?
Now,
Now,
the announcement you've all been waiting for.
I'm one. Sorry. So, yes, we are offering transaction coordinator discounted rate of $300.
Is that per month?
I do all your paid closes and nobody pays $300 for a transaction coordinator. I can guarantee it.
That's a great deal.
It is a great
I
deal.
coordinator and it's
Thank you.
$450.
It is. So, yes, good question. Amani, where did Amani go? Amani is going to be doing it now for the office. It is at a discounted rate. If you email her, she has all the information of what it includes, right? Highlights, she's gonna do your FMLS, MLS, she's gonna schedule your inspections, follow up on that. She's gonna handle all things command.
can I get an amen for that?
Yes, I do all your paid closes. You might like having someone manage your command. But she is fantastic. We want to offer that to you. She's in the office every day. She's available. Is there a marker over here? I'll write. There's no marker. Okay. Here it is. I'm gonna write her email address up on the paper so that you can, and phone number so you can contact her. If you have any questions about it, please come see her, come see us. Whatever it is, we really want this to be a benefit to you in the office, to help you with your transactions, make your part of selling the house the priority and let her take care of the rest. So, I will write all this up there.
We will send an office-wide email out with all the information.
Absolutely.
So you
Kimberly,
have
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not in the office on Mondays, but I do work from home on Mondays, so I'm still available.
Thank you.
Just because you don't see me, it's not that.
Yeah, I'm still around.
How about Saturdays at like 10 o'clock?
No, not
That's the $350 rate.
Yes.
Is this a Quan office offering so that when we all take you up on it and you can't possibly handle 50 transactions at one time, there's backup?
Yes, we will work on that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a great deal.
Absolutely.
Okay, can I get Jim, Sean, Kimberly's operating that. Who else? All right. So now we have another big announcement. That was the teaser.
They're so expensive.
That was the teaser.
We're buying a pool.
To the beach.
How'd you guess?
Beach vacation.
And actually, guys, I want to thank Virginia for bringing this to my attention several months ago, so that'll be a little tease for you, but Virginia brought this to my attention several months ago, that's where it started, guys. Yeah, so please.
So, you spoke, we heard, we listened. We are asking, this is new for us, so there is going to be a grace period, but starting, when are we starting this, the 15th? Monday, yeah, starting Monday. You can now, Keller Williams is offering to put your listings into the multiple listing services for you for free. And we will provide for you a flyer that you can then email to your database, your wherever, and social media, FML, whatever you want to put it. But these are the things that we're going to do for you right here. There is an email address that you will email, and then you will get an autoresponder back with the items that we need for you. So it's a partnership, guys, because we can't do what we said we're gonna do. If you don't do what you don't need your part.
Go back, I just saw something.
What?
Go back.
Kimberly, go back.
Right there, at the bottom, I saw will only be done during working hours with a 2-day turnaround.
2-day
That's
turnaround.
correct.
I think that's very important
Yes.
for you people who want it right now to see.
Plan ahead.
Yes,
Or do it
plan
yourself.
ahead.
Oh, what's that email?
That's right.
It is,
inputmylisting.com.
So just go to a website?
Okay.
yeah. Now goes
So
email.
it's gonna be an email address.
Okay.
And you'll get a form back to fill out, and it'll all be very intuitive.
Yeah.
So
no, listen, hold on, Kimberly, go ahead.
Inputmylisting@gmail.com.
Input my listing at gmail.com.
If you don't remember it after this meeting, sorry, you lose.
Well, guys, don't forget, after every Tuesday team meeting, Kimberly sends out a
Yes.
a follow-up. So today, if not any day, today would be one of the most important days to actually take your time and look through that email. Because it is such good stuff with all the links and everything that's talked about during the team meeting. So yeah, so give us some great, we're playing with it, we're gonna have fun with it, we wanna do this for you. I know it's something that you guys have been wanting and asking, so we're gonna play with it. Then also, Kimberly, you wanna talk about YouTube? Okay, so, for Kimberly, so that's just your basic input stuff. If you wanna up your game a little bit and you want some more customization to your marketing, see Kimberly, and she will do the upgrading, extra stuff for you for 25 extra.
I came from a company where we did that for them, but we also had 50-50 splits. And so guys, you know what the number one thing that kept us from doing our job? You didn't send us all the information. That's what stops us. In other words, if you send only partial information and we can't input it, then we cannot go forward. So you gotta do your job first, right, Kimberly?
It is a partnership.
It's a partnership, exactly right, Joe. You like the price, guys?
Yes.
All right, guys, who take the staff for this? Guys, yes, he does have a part-time job being a lifeguard during the summer, so that's like. Yes.
You know, I just want to say thank you, because I have been waiting for this for a long time. I mean, so maybe some of you have your close, your assistants and everything, but when you're a single agent, I mean, I have seen other companies offering that, and you know, they always ask me, Keller Williams doesn't do that for you, like, no. Like, well,
But now you can say yes.
I know it, and I thank you, because you're going to save me money.
And now you can say yes, but just
Yes.
my office,
Thank
because
you.
not all offices are offering
I know,
this.
but
Yeah.
you know, it's just saying
Just
that I
this
really
office.
appreciate it, because I'm the one who pays, and you know, and you're
So-
giving me money with this, and I appreciate it, thank you so much.
When you're sitting across the table, closing table with a potential recruit, guys, this is stuff you need to talk about.
It is.
You know, get that appointment set up with Jim and Sean, get them set up, so that use this as a recruiting tool too. Build the downline.
Is this gonna be in the?
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Tracy Quisenberry with Eric Decker Homes. My question is, while I'm thoroughly impressed at this big announcement, I was expecting another announcement. Is Keller Williams partnering with Canva?
Yeah, that came out like last week or so.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have any
Yes.
information on it yet, yes,
Yeah.
but we don't have any
That's
information
huge.
yet. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Alright, what I got going on next, what's next? Okay.
All right, this is my jam.
Okay, Sean's son.
All right. We want to grow this office and get more great agents in here that you can partner with and that you can say you work with on a daily basis. That's really important for us. We don't want 500 agents. Let me be clear. Jim, do we want 500 agents?
Productive, yes.
Okay. That's not the goal. The goal is to be mindful and thoughtful about who we add and who we bring into our fantastic culture here. Okay? But you guys are the culture. And so for us to be able to do that, we need you guys to be referring people that you believe in, that you think fit our culture, to us so that we can have conversations with them about joining our great office. The things that we just put out are things that are going to hopefully help us in our recruiting. All right, it's for you guys, but it will also help us when we're sitting across the table from agents that you guys work with on a daily basis. They're at different offices down the road doing whatever they're doing, right? Offering whatever they're offering, and we can say we have these things, okay? So to do that, for the next 3 days, we are going to run an agent referral contest, okay? You guys can compete in this. For every agent you refer, okay, your name will go into the drawing one time. If we get 25 total referrals, 0 to 25, we're gonna give away $500 in cash. Cash, you can come pick it up, it'll be $100 bills. Okay, we'll make that happen. If we get over 26, all right, 26 or more, we're gonna give away $1,000. Okay, it's just straight cash. Send them all. Okay, here's the one caveat. Don't just send me John Smith's name that you met 73 years ago and did one deal with. It took 7 months. I don't need that agent referral, please. Okay, I want a good referral from a guy that or a lady that you've worked with that did a great job that you have an existing relationship with. I want these to be warm leads, warm referrals, if that makes sense. Okay, I want everyone to listen. This is how I'd like the leads to be delivered. I want you to put me, yourself, and the referral agent on a text and send a text that says, "Hi, John. Really excited to potentially get you in our office." Actually, we're gonna start over. "Hi, John. I'm introducing you to Sean Kimberly. He's our assistant team leader here at the office. I'd love for you to have a conversation with him about the great things going on at Keller Williams Atlanta North." Awesome. Can you do that?
Can
And
you
a
get that
text.
script?
And listen, it doesn't have to be to me. Jim, are you okay if they do this to you as well? All right, myself or Jim, because I know there are some agents that may have existing relationships there. I don't care who you send it to. Just send it to one of us. And we promise we will follow up with them within 30 minutes of that text message.
But
That's
do
a
not
promise.
include the picture of him in his outfit today.
I don't care. By all means, listen, we can be successful and have fun, right?
Guys, just to be clear,
Opposed?
just to be clear, I don't want everybody here, I'm sorry, I do not, and excuse me for this, I don't want any jackasses, sorry. I do not, I want people that are like you all, that are culture. By culture, I mean that they get along with us, that's all I care about, and they're productive, that's it, guys. We're looking for great people to join us, that we'll be proud to be in business with. And that's it, I'm not looking for someone that's did 30 million, but they're impossible to work with. I don't want them here, let them stay at where they are. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, so this is a 3-day contest, 72 hours, okay? It will end at, we'll call it 10 o'clock on the 13th, all right? That's when it's over, all right? If you don't have it in by 10 a.m. on the 13th, it doesn't count, and it starts right now. My phone is not vibrating. I mean, that's a problem. Contest has started, all right? I want to give away $1,000. All right, I want to see Melissa grimace when she gives somebody $10 bills. Okay? All right, what we got next, Kimberly? Yes, ma'am.
Any KW agent, and then office that does not get the support that we offer?
No.
No.
What's the question?
If they've said they want to move and they've talked to their team leader, then yes, I'll say that. How about that? But we cannot go recruit them
We can't, yeah.
separately. I need anyone here that is not an agent in this office that is a licensed agent to stand up, please.
It's not bad.
Are you licensed?
Not yet, not
How
yet.
about all the guests, stand up? Anybody that's not an agent here or a vendor here, stand up. All right, we got 2 people. Thank you guys for bringing them.
Thank you.
We have Starbucks gift cards for you. All right.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Welcome.
Have a coffee on us. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here with us. We really appreciate it. Jennifer and Eric, thanks for bringing them. Really appreciate that. All right. Makes me question their judgment, Eric. You can talk to me later.
Okay.
Are you all, anything else, Kimberly?
We just need to give away the rest of our Starbucks gift cards. Oh, we need to draw. Drawing. Well, we gotta draw for the city. You know what? Can I give one to Jennifer and Eric for bringing their gifts?
Absolutely, absolutely.
We have 2 Six Flag giveaways. Ooh.
Yeah.
Jim, can you draw those? And what?
One card or 2 cards?
Finish the cards.
Finish the cards.
Here, let me do the cards. Here, let me have those cards. We're not drawing.
Gina Forbes, you got 6 spots.
I'm giving one to Adrian, she referred me an agent to me already. Before the contest, let's see, who else sent me an agent this week?
There's those to draw from.
Alright, we'll draw another name, draw one, Noel.
All three.
Our three. When we get done with the Starbucks cards, we're gonna auction off the two.
Nanelle? There she is.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing this. You wanna do that?
Silverton, you're up next.
Come on, Silverton, welcome Silverton, come on, Marie.
You're up.
Shelley Turner.
It's not my way to talk, so I'll just tell you from back here. So we're doing a class on Monday from 11 to 12. I'm gonna condense the CE class that I did a couple of months ago and talk about selling condominiums. Anything that I can help, you guys just remove some questions so you're a little less reluctant or hesitant whenever your client is looking at the contract. So Monday from 11 to 12.
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome.
Kelly Davy. Eric, talk about your class.
You wanna talk about your class?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Stand up.
All right, so everybody, we talked so much, throughout, whether it's at night and throughout the weeks about looking for business, lead generating and everything, and then you spend all that time and energy and you're exhausted, and then all of a sudden you get a contract and you're like, oh crap, now what do I do? Right? So new agents, especially, obviously, seasoned agents know what to do. But hey, anybody can come, so it'll be a group session, some masterminding, telling you what I do and what we do once you get under contract. There's a lot to it. And I'll even touch on leveraging, like what we talked about earlier, how important that is when you're under contract. And I'm blessed to have Tracy as my leverage when I do go under contract, because I can just shoot it to her. But there's a lot to it, and happy to teach it. See you Wednesday.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Hey, you all, and this is coming up on Monday, 23rd. It's gonna be, with First Atlanta. Guys, I went to the Southeast Region, mastermind for mega agents, and this lady was there. She is from, I don't remember, north, I think.
Ohio.
Ohio.
She's in Ohio.
Wherever she is, okay, but guys, she is incredible. Her story is that she had a team of 8 people. And she now is down to a team of 2 people and able to do more business because she uses AI as part of her platform. And guys, she knows it, she knows what it looks like, how to do it, she teaches it. So guys, she's gonna come in and spend that day with us from 12 to 3 at First Atlanta, and you do have to register for it, guys. So she is beyond amazing. If you wanna know what's next, how many of us remember when we had fax as the next thing in real estate? I do, I remember, y'all know exactly what I did.
Did you say fax? F-A-X?
What's that?
But anyway, guys, and we didn't embrace for a long time, but now this is the new thing that's gonna be next. So guys, if you have time, if you need to register for it, it will fill up, please do that as soon as possible. Market Matters is coming up on Wednesday, July 30th. If you'd like to do that from 9:30 to 12, that's also going on here in Sandy Springs. Let's do that. School supply drive, who's doing this?
I will.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Chris, thank you so much.
Hey, a few years back, we used to partner with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and they are finally back up and running again with this. So we're gonna start kicking this off probably another week or so, and we've got an Amazon wish list again that we can use. We're gonna look for packing up the backpacks this year for elementary, middle, and high school. They've got over 1,000 kids that are coming out at the end of July for a big event at Jim Miller Park to come get these backpacks, and they need all the help we can give them. So start collecting those school supplies and open your wallets. If you wanna give money, we'll order them for you. But
Do you have a date on the packing of the bags?
we're probably gonna have them all due by the 18th of July, so we can pack everything up that Monday and give it to them for their event that's gonna be on July 26th.
Perfect.
So
And
it's
you all,
gonna be here before we know it. They just got out of school. It's almost time to go back.
Christy is the one that champions this almost every single year. She keeps us focused on it. So Christy, let's give you a hand. All right, Alliance Partners, come on.
Woo-hoo!
Come on, guys. They're gonna make a big announcement. they're gonna go down to 4% rates tomorrow.
Yes,
Yeah.
only us.
If you pay 10.
Just for people in this room.
Yeah, right. Not even your clients, literally just you guys. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Kyle McGann with Supreme Lending. This is Hunter. And this is Camilo. We just wanted to touch a little bit on really preparedness up front, starting the process, having your clients fully vetted and to go an extra mile, fully underwritten up front to remove any unpleasant surprises. We have been, as summer's heating up, and we've been just getting more people that have been either coming out of the woodworks or getting started now. We've been seeing a few unpleasant surprises, horror stories, I don't know what you want to say. But getting them prepared up front really sets the tone and helps a smooth transaction throughout the entire process.
Yeah, I've got a perfect example of it. I'm sure Reed and Danielle have experienced the same thing. So I get an introduction to a client, and I'll make a long story very short. We speak, probably 4 to 6 weeks go by because it's pretty difficult to get on the phone. Out of nowhere, I get a text message with an estimate that says, hey, can you match this? And automatically I respond, well, I'm not gonna give you anything until I have some kind of qualification for you because I don't know what the numbers look like. I don't know what your credit score is. I don't know what your down payment looks like, et cetera. We ended up getting the qualification for him like 2 weeks later. Didn't respond to me after I said that. Reached back out 2 weeks later. We get his qualification in, and everything looks good, except for one thing. I went back to go look at that estimate just out of curiosity, and I noticed in the top right-hand corner that it was labeled as FHA, but his credit score was a 640. And the first thing you do when you pull a credit report is, number one, obviously you look at what the scores are, but number two, you look up what makes up the credit score itself, the trade lines, the body of credit, et cetera. He had a current house that was FHA, and his plan was to keep it. So I reached back out to him and I said, hey, were you aware, or do you see any issue with this? Did the other person say, hey, maybe you can't have 2 FHA loans at once? Of course, that was never brought up. So this guy was out, he had just submitted an offer, was up under contract, and then he found out, with a 640 score, having to go conventional, if you're lucky to get approved, doing 5% down, the cost structure that you were looking at is not even remotely close to what it's going to actually be. So I told him, if I just would have said yes, I would have been an idiot too. So you would have had 2 idiots you're dealing with. So we see this stuff all the time. It's really unfortunate. He ended up having to, he canceled that contract. We're gonna try to boost his score to figure that out, or he's got to sell that house. There is no in between. FHA is extremely strict on that, so we're seeing that a lot more. It's just, taking that extra 10, 15 minutes or taking the extra day or two. I know it's a pain in the butt to get those documents up front, but you can avoid something like that with taking literally an extra 15 seconds to look what was in the credit report. So if y'all have any questions about it, just let us know. And people will always, you can always find somebody who will tell you yes. You can always find it. That is the easiest answer to get in this business. Now, if it actually works out, that's a different story. He had $6 grand on the line, and I guarantee you would have lost it. So.
And speaking of that, I'll let you talk in a second. We boast our rescue service all the time. There are scenarios where rescue loans come across our desks that cannot be rescued. And it is a nightmare for the buyers and for the agents and the whole transaction. So yes, we have a lot of success stories, but there's people out there that are in tough spots, so really something to consider.
Hey, and the best thing I'm gonna move right here because I want the Facebook friends to be but listen, why this is important? You're gonna pay $300 for a transaction coordinator, that's great, right? $25 for extra marketing. Are you gonna pay for this advice? No. It's free. So it's included in your package. Right here, so you can come to us and it's gonna have a, thank you so much. So that's great, and guess what? For the agent referral, you're gonna say, hey, we have one of the best lenders in town, closing 8 days. You know all the things that you know about us, but also they have the support in Spanish. And I know that some of your agents, raise your hands who's a Hispanic agent speak Spanish. Right here, right there, beautiful ladies as well. and somebody has closed a Hispanic client without knowing the language.
Right.
You raise your hand.
Oh.
Eric Decker again. Could you tell us that experience real quick, because we want that everybody knows that there is a huge opportunity in the Hispanic market, even if you don't speak the language. Why? Why do you think?
Yes, well, so I'm trying to learn to Duolingo. It's a great app, by the way, if you need to learn Spanish or any other language. No, so my amazing landscaper reached out to me and says, hey, I want to buy my first house. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And so his, primary language is Spanish. He understands English, but I felt like, you know what, for him to, obviously there's a lot to this, right? And for him to fully understand, Camilo was the first person I thought of course, and I know he does a great job, so I got him in touch. I even called the closing attorney that we were using once we got under contract to see if they had somebody who's bilingual, in case he needed to have a consultation with them. So it just worked out great. I think, Alvin was super.
So he's my poster child. Don't overestimate this market, okay? It's growing. You have partners in another realtors. I know that you might know some words, if you know some words in Spanish, but one thing is knowing the language, so the thing is the culture.
It helped too.
So we are here to support,
Yeah.
right? So that's one extra deal that you have right there. It wasn't even a social security, it was a tax ID number,
Yeah.
right? So we cover,
Lot
we
to it.
close, an extra deal for him, so that can happen to you. Just keep that in mind. I'm gonna be here reminding you about the, the potential of the Hispanic market right there. Right, ladies? Yvette, Mafe, right?
Yes.
Marlene?
Love it.
Thanks.
That's it. So we are here for you.
All right, lessons learned.
You got it?
Yeah, do you want to do it?
I got it, I don't have one.
All right, so my lessons learned this week. I talked to an agent friend of mine who's a non-KW agent, but it's a guy that I've known for a very long time. He's having trouble with some clients that are just running him around ragged. They're wanting to make offers on properties. They're contingent on the sale of their house. Their house is on the market. It's not selling. It's not moving. They're unwilling to move the price. Is that a real buyer?
No.
So sometimes you gotta have that conversation with your clients, the hard conversation about, you're really not serious about this because we're not doing the things, we're not moving the price, we're not doing activities that make us a real buyer. And sometimes they don't listen, and sometimes you have to fire a client. So the lesson is, if you have to fire a client, it's okay, because that opens up mind share for you to go get new business. Don't be scared of that. I know that's a crazy thing to say right now, when the market is tough and deals are tough to come by and hard to close, but don't be afraid to get rid of that energy suck or that energy, whirlpool, and open up that mind share so that you can go out and find new deals.
Can I just comment on that?
Absolutely.
So also make sure you have asked the correct questions, because I have a client that said, I have to sell before I buy, and they didn't wanna look into if they could do any alternative things.
Sure.
Well, after we saw a few houses that they kept missing out on, because we were looking to kind of get them familiar with the market, they said, we can tap into our 401k. And so they did that and now are under contract on a house and we're listing theirs tomorrow.
Awesome.
So just make sure you're asking the right questions.
Sure.
Because I did ask that, but they didn't wanna share that at that time, but it had planted a seed with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome.
All right, y'all, anything else? Any other questions? Well, I want to share one more thing with you. Today, sometime today, I'm going to become a great-grandfather for the fourth time. I'm waiting on the phone to ring to say she's here. So I'm going to be spoiling children for a long time. Okay, anything else? Can we thank the staff for this, guys? I'd like to thank them. Gloria, thanks for coming, guys. Oh, one more thing, yes, ma'am.
Is Kyle still here?
No. Oh, he's
Maybe watch.
Oh, and one for Kyle also.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be a father for the second time, he'll be a great-grandfather the fourth time. Guys, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
And guys, we do have some more great announcements coming in the very near future, because there are some things we are still working on for you guys, so keep showing up. Read your emails.
Take a balloon, they're free.
Yeah.